a sport forever enduring and unchanged. Golf is pure theater. Its passion and drama has forged so many indelible personalities. These are the champions who met in golf's magnificent arena. Golf Channel Classics.
ESPN welcomes you to one of the fastest growing areas in the United States. That's the skyline of Jacksonville, Florida, which next year welcomes the National Football League. The Jaguars are coming to town. Welcome to a National Championship of American Golf conducted by the United States Golf Association. We are southeast of Jacksonville at Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. The St. Johns River nearby, the only river in the United States which flows from south to north. And we're at the TPC at the Sawgrass Stadium course. That's one of the most photographed holes in all of golf, the famed Island Green of the 17th. Sectional qualifying for 5,128 amateurs and 312 players made their way to Florida to the Stadium and the Valley courses here. 36 holes of stroke play for the first 2 days, and the final 64 qualifying for match play. Then on Wednesday, that field was reduced to 32. The endurance test on the second day, and the field was down to 8. On Friday, the quarterfinals, and we were down to the 4 semifinalists, and now only 2 have prevailed. So Steve Melnick, on the morning 18, Trip Keeney put on a performance that was reminiscent of one Greg Norman here at this course.
Well, he made a birdie at the par 5 second and quickly assumed a 1-hole lead. Now here he is at the short 4th, dangerous 4th, water in front of the green. This is just a wedge, second shot.
Watch the cable stop.
Watch this. Looks like it stops at the upper tier. Picks up a little momentum. And just like Pete Dye designed it.
Hold it, please. Hold it. Hold it, please. Watch the cable.
Now Tiger Woods bowl with his second finds a little pot bunker behind the green.
And it's here, Steve, where we perhaps witness the first little bit of frustration on the part of Woods, because this is match play. He was able to concede a putt to an opponent, which he does, and then he slaps his golf ball away.
With a conceded birdie, now Keeney takes a 2-hole lead in this match. Now here he is at the par 4 6th tee shot in the left-hand fairway bunker. Watch this second shot, Brent.
He made that for a birdie, so Tiger Woods 1 down.
Now he comes to the very long and difficult par 4 7th. Look at this second shot. Nothing serves you better under pressure than to have your swing in order, and Keeney has his today. He has this short putt left for birdie to win the hole.
Putting beautifully.
So his advantage now moves to 2 up. Now at the par 5 9ths, second shot just short of the green. Watch this third from about 80 yards.
Woods concedes this, and Keeney is 3 up.
Now Keeney once again using that length to great advantages for birdie at the par 5 11th. So now Keeney has made all of his birdie putts within about 5 feet of the hole, so he hasn't had to make putts.
Tiger was left with this birdie opportunity to have the hole.
That is a rare, rare miss from an 18-year-old who's, quite frankly, used to making everything inside 10 feet.
This tee shot.
This is a huge tee shot, Brett. This is over 300 yards. It's a little pitch to the par 4 12th. Watch the result here. His long game's in order, great touch around the greens, and putting well.
Only thing that could throw him off is lunch.
Now at the par 3 13th, tee shot with a 6-iron. Remember what he did at the 4th hole, the par 4, use the slope? Watch this.
Another birdie, and Trip Keeney of Oklahoma State is 6 up.
A rare mistake for Keeney, a poor drive is second short of the green, a long pitch. He had this for par. And he concedes the hole to Woods. Now Woods goes to 5 down. Now it's 16. This for birdie for Woods. So he goes to 4 down with the birdie.
And perhaps he saved himself with a little spurt here. And watch Tiger on the 18th. A treacherous position and a magnificent recovery. They both make pars, have the 18th, and after the morning round, Trip Keeney 4 up on the favorite, Tiger Woods. Welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger with my colleague, Steve Melnick. Now, I hate to remind a Gator of this, but if we go to the Florida golf coach, Buddy Alexander, and we say, Buddy, does Tiger Woods have any chance at all of coming back? Steve, he would say, you bet he does.
Well, he better have a chance of coming back. But I think what we saw this morning, Brent, was 2 excellent golfers playing very well. And you look at the score, you say, Tiger Woods didn't play very well. That's not true. Woods was 2 under par if he had to post a medal score. But Keeney played a great round of golf. He was 66 was his medal score. He's 4 up with 18 to play. What Tiger's got to do this afternoon is simply go out and play better. He can't worry about what Keeney's doing. He has been down, as you said, to Buddy Alexander. So he has been thrown into a situation where he has to perform. If he doesn't, Keeney wins.
Steve, in this situation, if you're Tiger, do you start thinking, I've got to get a birdie here, there, something going?
Well, typically you say don't worry about your opponent, but I think in this case he does, because he has simply got to win holes and reduce that advantage that he has now. And if he doesn't, Tiger's in for a long afternoon.
Our situation in the 94th U.S. Amateur Championship is this: through 25, Trip Keeney 4 up on Tiger Woods. We send you down to Bob Rosberg. Rossi?
Well, Brent, even though Trip Keeney is 7 under par for the day, he has not been pressured very much by Tiger Woods. I think Tiger, by his own admission, would say this is maybe the 2nd worst round he's played, even though he's only made 1 bogey in 25 holes. But he really hasn't been sharp. He hasn't driven the ball well. He has not putted very well. Missed a lot of them this morning. I think the 5th hole, where Trip got it up and down from a miracle spot, I think that really had a lot to do with what's going to happen in this match. If Tiger just won the 4th hole, if he'd have won the 5th, he'd have been only 3 down, but he didn't, and then he lost the 6th. So he's got a long way to come, even though he just birdied the 7th.
Trip Keeney of Oklahoma State 4 up right now against Tiger Woods, who came in the favorite to win this amateur championship.
I talk with men every day who call because they want to find out what they can do to improve their sexual performance. So this guy called and said he wasn't happy with his performance. He started describing symptoms of ED. I said, look, half of all men over 40 have some form of ED. It happens to younger guys too. It's not just you. You're not alone in all this.
Sex has always been an important part of our relationship. I wanted to do something about it. I had questions. Are ED treatments safe? He gave me information that put my mind at ease. He told me that millions of men are being safely and successfully treated. He also said that ED could be caused by high blood pressure or diabetes, even some medications.
He called us back 2 months later.
I told him that it really made a difference. I'm glad I did something, really glad.
Make the call. Learn more about ED and get information about a prescription treatment option. Call 1-800-483-3879 or visit makethecall2.com.
A lesson for parents about the power of your cable remote. Yes, you can surf the channels with it. But did you know? The cable remote can help control what your children watch. It's pretty easy. First hit Menu or Settings, then scroll through the on-screen options to set your password. Finally, block the programming by channel or rating. And talk to your children about why certain programs are not for them. Set your parental controls. It's easy. For more details on parental controls and tools, go to controlyourtv.org.
The Golf Channel's Aloha Swing kicks off in Kapalua with Mercedes Championships Week, a full week dedicated to the PGA Tour's 2006 season debut, featuring Hawaiian editions of Golf Central, in-depth player interviews, news conferences, and special preview shows, including sprint pre- and post-game shows before and after network coverage of the first event of the new season. Mercedes Championships Week. Experience it on the Golf Channel. Brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Well, we are back, and Trip Keeney is trying to keep it in the family. To the best of anyone's knowledge, no family has captured 2 USGA championships in the same year. Kelly Keeney out at the Meadowlark Country Club in Great Falls, Montana, 5 weeks ago, won the Junior Girls Championship. She's now in that gallery out there with the family, watching her brother to see if they can make it a Keeney double. To get here, he defeated Chris Cox, his good friend and teammate from Oklahoma State.
Keeney's gotten it in position where if he doesn't make mistakes, he puts the pressure on Woods and forces Woods to take some chances and attempt to make birdie. The way Keeney's playing, though, this is really fun to watch. As we said, he was 6 under par if he were to post a medal score on his morning round. And thus far, he has been virtually flawless. He had the errant second shot at 5, but otherwise, it's been pretty good.
In Tiger's comeback against Buddy Alexander, he received a lot of help. And so Steve's point is really germane to this, because Keeney would have to start making mistakes. Good looking lag putt.
It's interesting that Keeney had a short putt for par earlier in this second round of the, I shouldn't call it a second round since it's a 36-hole match, but Woods failed to concede it. It was well inside the leather.
Now, can he roll in another long putt for a win? He has putted magnificently so far in this championship. As Steve told you, we've only seen him miss one short one here earlier today. Has a great putting stroke. Very well done, though, wasn't it?
Well, our hats are off to Fred Clouk, the superintendent here at the Players Club. He's got 2 courses under his responsibility, and both in excellent shape. The Valley course used for the other half of the qualifying here.
Keeney conceding. That's part of the rules in match play. And now for the halve.
At our club, we'd say that Woods has lockjaw, making him put all those little ones.
Well, in fairness, he's down by 4, and the only way he can get in is for Tripp to start missing some of those. Now, let's move on to the 9th hole. This is a lovely par 5 here at the TPC, Steve.
At 582 yards, Tiger Woods very nearly knocked it on this green in 2, not once but twice this week during matches. For most players, though, it's a layup with a long iron of fairway wood just past those little grove of oak trees there on the right. Then it sets up a short pitch of anywhere from 100 to maybe down to 50 yards to a very elevated but small green. Very well laid out, well designed par 5. Flagstick today in the front portion of the green. What you've got to worry about is this swale here, because balls run off this way. Actually, it's not a difficult position given the fact that greens are relatively soft and there's very little wind.
Tiger Woods has not driven the ball as well today as we have seen him here earlier this week. Trip Keeney has been a little steadier off the tee. So as Bob Rosberg told you, this is probably the weakest overall round by Tiger Woods. A couple of great saves, but all in all, he's made only 1 bogey today. So it is Trip Keeney who has played wonderfully.
Wind coming out of the right, just a shade. Woods has hit another hook. He's hit a lot of balls to the left.
It's interesting, too, Rossi, that he said he's worked all summer on trying to get rid of the hook, and here it reappears under pressure.
It's amazing how that pressure will kind of flush out all the bad things, Steve. I don't know why that is, but it sure does.
Rossi, what about this young man's swing?
I think I hadn't watched him until this morning, and I'll tell you, he played some kind of a round, and swing was just beautiful. He just played almost perfect. Right down the middle again.
Hits another fairway, and one of the reasons why Trip Keeney leads Tiger Woods. Keeney 4 up right now as we continue. Now let's go out for the night, and Tiger Woods is away here. Rossi?
Tiger caught a pretty good lie in that left-hand rough. He can play almost any kind of a shot he wants. I would just think he'd take some kind of an iron and hit it up about 100 yards short of the green, as Steve suggested. It doesn't really do him a lot of good to take any kind of a fairway wood, but you can't tell what's in his mind. Anything he thinks he can hit straight. Just perfect. Keeney can actually probably knock it pretty close to the green if he so chooses. The flagstick cut up front, though, I don't think it'll do him a lot of good. Leave himself a little fuller shot, I think would be better.
Well, he's gone with a fairway wood.
Yeah, he might try to cut it back into the wind, Steve, and, you know, it's whatever you can hit straight up here. It's pretty narrow, a little opening up here.
No, Rossi's gone back to the iron. When you're 4 holes up, you do not need to take chances.
Fairways and greens, as they say, Steve, huh?
Not a good layup.
No, not at all. Maybe he had the right choice the first time.
Trip Keeney from Waco, Texas, and yesterday Steve had an opportunity to speak with the young man.
You've just come off a very emotional semifinal win over your college teammate Chris Cox, and now you face what many believe to be the best amateur golfer in the country at this time in Tiger Woods. I asked Tiger the question, was the pressure on him? And he said no. Then I asked you the same question. Is the pressure on you?
No, because I think if you took a poll again, that you'd find that everybody knows who Tiger Woods is. Everybody said, well, who's Trip Keeney? Everybody knows his little sister Kelly, but who's Trip Keeney? I don't think I really have anything to go out there and lose. I just go out there and have a good time, enjoy the moment, and play good golf, and realize that he's going to hit great shots, and he's a human being just like the rest of us. He's a wonderful golfer, superb, and just go out there and play good golf and have a good time and enjoy what's going on. And hopefully I play well and my game rises to the next level, and I get an opportunity to maybe win the U.S. Amateur Championship. That's all you can ask for is an opportunity, and I have that opportunity. Maybe I can take advantage.
He certainly has more than an opportunity now, and he did rise to the occasion on the 18 that was played this morning, and they broke for lunch and they came back, and this is a true 36-hole test of golf. Second time this week that they've been asked to go out, although earlier, a few days ago, when they played 36 holes, they had a different opponent. Today you're matched against the same man here for the championship. Tiger Woods bidding to become the youngest United States amateur champion ever, and he is going to need to come off the pace as he did a couple matches ago against the coach of the Florida golf team, Buddy Alexander. Now it'll be, is Tiger next here, Rossi?
Yes, Tiger's away, and I'll tell you, this is a pretty crucial decision. It was very close as to who was away, but Tripp can now see what Tiger does, and it may dictate what he tries to do with his shot. He does not have a good lie in the bunker. It's kind of rolled in and settled in the bunker. I don't think he can play at the flag, but if Tiger knocks it stiff, he may try. Tiger has a shot of about 80 yards. Ball just slightly above his feet. Should not give him any problem at all. I think you'll aim it out to 10 or 12 feet to the right of the hole and let it spin down the hill. Everything goes from right to left.
What you want to do is feel it when you get over the shot. Make sure it's quiet now. Feel it coming to the back. Feel it over the shot side.
Very hard to stop it, going downwind.
Well, the road to the final not easy for either of these players. Vaughn Moise, the PGA Tour official, good match with him, 2-1. Buddy Alexander, the great match we talked about. Buddy more lost it than Tiger won it. But he had a 2-footer to go 4 up, missed it, and the rest, as they say, is history. And a good, well-played match, and he won yesterday against Rachette, 5-3.
Yeah, that's very long. I would think he should have tried to bump it into the right-hand side of the green. There's a pretty good opening there where he could have played a little bump and run shot, and at the worst been in the front bunker, and that's not bad. Where he is now, very difficult.
Rossi, I wonder if Keeney perhaps hit too long a tee shot, because obviously he thought he could knock it on with that club. And then, you know, sometimes it's not always easy to lay up.
No, a layup is a hard shot, Steve, and you know, he might have been better off just going at it and just go the way he got here. I don't think he can change his plan now. He was very aggressive the first 14 or 15 holes this morning, and then he kind of went safe.
Well, we mentioned Kelly, his sister, and there she is, the U.S. Girls Junior Champion. Won that title in Montana 5 weeks ago. She'll watch her brother's third here on the par 5.
Actually, his fourth.
Yeah, excuse me, his fourth.
Very tough shot, long bunker shot back into the wind. Hard to play.
Well, the book on Kelly, and this from Brother Tripp, is that she is the more competitive of the two, if you will. She's really tough under pressure, thrives on pressure. Tripp kind of easygoing, laid back, kind of relies on his game, and she just can't wait to get out and play every day.
Now Tiger, and he can win the hole if he makes this putt, Rossi.
Well, I don't think Tiger will take too aggressive a run at this. I mean, sure, he's going to try and make it, but I think in the back of his mind, he thinks 2 putts will get the job done. Tiger putting from about 25 feet. Even though these greens are fast for Bermuda, we haven't seen a lot of 3 putts this week. Ball doesn't get away real quick around the hole.
This time, Tripp did not concede the short putt, as he's been doing. A couple of short putts were not conceded by Tiger earlier in this match either, and so now Tripp Keeney with this par putt.
There's a little grain in this green. It runs to Tripp's left. If you get it outside the hole, it may not come back. Yep, no break.
And now for the win.
We have a major case of lockjaw.
And suddenly, nobody conceding anything.
A little gamesmanship here. And Tiger missed one for birdie on the 11th hole this morning, about this length. Nope.
And the lead down to 3. Tiger Woods, 3 down. The weather down here on the north coast of Florida has been magnificent for this amateur championship. Last year was plagued a bit by rain and thunderstorms in Houston, and that's always a possibility here too, but it has not been that way. It has been absolutely glorious down here. And Rossi, what's the situation here at the 10th?
Tiger Woods hit it not only crooked but very short, but actually got a good break. He's sitting on the pine needles over there with a beautiful lie, wide open. He's 185 yards from the hole. As Steve mentioned, the flagstick back right is not very accessible, but I think Tiger has a good chance to get the ball on the green. Trip Keeney has a good lie in the bunker. He's out in the middle of the bunker. He's about 165. Not too difficult a shot for him either.
You saw that Woods move that palm frond. It's interesting, if you touch anything, I believe Frank Hannigan, within a club length of the ball and the ball subsequently move, what happens?
If he move, he's deemed to have caused it to move, he would incur a one-stroke penalty and he'd have to replace the ball. It's tricky business when you're in pine needles.
It's a little bit like playing pickup sticks. You have to be very careful. You're best to just leave it alone and just go after it. I tell you, one of the tough things about playing off pine straw, if you're not used to it, is footing. If you have an active lower half, then you're going to slip. It's almost better to play out of pine straw like you do out of a fairway bunker. Just play very quiet from the waist down. You can't beat an opponent when you're not driving the ball in the fairway. I mean, you can't put any pressure on anybody that way. That's Tommy Dudley with the next to Keeney there.
Keeney's ball inside the bunker, right in the middle.
Tiger looks to have a 4-iron here. As you can see by the camera behind him, he has a lot of room. Absolutely no problem with the trees at all.
The cable, please.
Okay, he shot it right at the middle of the green. Great golf shot. Got a good break to be able to play it, but he performed when he got that break.
Go get it.
Keeney now. He's played some wonderful fairway bunker shots in the last 2 days. Seems to be able to hit the ball very squarely out of the bunkers.
Didn't like it.
Fat to the right. Came down between the bunkers, I believe.
Yes, it did, Rossi. Right in behind a rake there. When you reach that point, you'll see it.
Great.
We talked about Tiger Woods footing in pine straw. Well, the problem for Trip Keeney here was footing as well. When he went to push off on his right side, let's watch him swing it back to the top. He looks pretty good here. As he goes to transition to his left, he kind of pushes off with his right, and the right foot kind of gives away a little bit. See it slide there? The right foot slides, caught the ball heavy, went to the right.
Well, it's an interesting and funny old game, isn't it? You never know. Tripp is sailing along. 1 point up by 6. Woods didn't go away. Now it's down to 3, and Who knows what can happen here. Interesting cap that Tripp Keeney is wearing today with the logo "No Fear" on it. I guess that's what you would need when you take on a favorite like Tiger Woods. Certainly there was no fear in the way he played the morning 18 here, but suddenly circumstances are changing. This being match play, and it can turn around quickly.
Steve, this shot, he's going to have to play about the same way as he played that shot back at 5, although he has a better lie. There's always that controversy about square grooves. Do you think square grooves helps with a shot this short?
No, I really don't, because you're not putting enough spin on the ball to matter. I think it's a moot point, Rossi.
I do, too.
There are players on tour that will tell you that it makes a big difference. I beg to differ with them. It's amazing, though, that these young collegians have adopted this, what I call full motion, half-speed shot around the green. So swing the club back a long way, almost at half speed, and attempt to slide the club under the ball and make it come out softly.
Boy, he does have that down.
That takes some touch and some practice. It's pretty good from there.
Tiger Woods will be putting for the win on this hole.
Tiger from about 25 feet, and again, Brant, I think in the back of his mind, he says, you know, if I make it, fine, but I might be a 2-to-1 favorite to win this hole if I can get it down in 2.
This final match went off at 8:15 this morning. They played in a little over 3 hours, and it's interesting that Tiger Woods changed clothes between morning 18 and afternoon 18, and Keeney kept on the same clothes.
Was a fine putt. Now Keeney must make this to have the hole.
This is the same kind of putt he had back there at 9, Steve, and that the green is coming out of the right. This putt looks like it wants to go to the right, but how much it will, I don't know.
But it's a pretty easy putt, is it not, Rossi, going down the hill a little bit?
Well, if you get the right line, I guess it is, but the thing's getting a little tighter. Probably looks a little tougher than it would have at the second hole this morning.
And the lead is down to 2.
Hole number 10, Mr. Woods 4, Mr. Keeney 5. Mr. Keeney is 2 up.
Now let's move on over to another par 5 here, the 11th.
Many of the players think this is the best design hole here at this stadium course. If you hit a long tee shot, you can go at this green in 2. If not, you have a number of options. 1, to lay up short just past the large oak on the right. 2, you can go to the smaller left-hand fairway left of the bunkers where it's very shallow. If you go at the green, you've got to play a well-played high shot to hold this green. Tiger Woods knocked it on this green in 2 yesterday with a long iron. Flagstick today, really the toughest spot, right in the front of the green here. There's virtually no margin of error there. If you lay up short, it's very difficult to get it close and through. This is a hole that Tiger Woods has played very handily in his match with Buddy Alexander. Outdrove Buddy about 30 yards, put an iron around the green, put an iron on yesterday. Sets up for a ball that wants to move from left to right. You aim at that waist area there and try to fit it in the right-hand portion of the fairway. Look at the morning round of Trip Keeney. If it was a medal play score, it would have been 66. That included a bogey at 14. It was simply wonderful golf, and young man deserved the margin that he enjoyed, being 4 up after the morning round.
But that's all history now. And Trip Keeney's lead, once at 6 holes, now stands at 2 up. Tiger Woods on the tee.
Hole very reachable, downwind. Tiger can put it on with a drive and an iron if you can drive it down the fairway.
Isn't it funny, Rossi, how some holes just fit your eye?
That's right, and I think the fact that he's won 2 holes with pars makes it a little easier to drive, Steve. You know, it puts him in a position where I think he said, if I can get 1 good drive here, you know, I could get back to 1 down. And he is on the move. You mentioned earlier that it was sort of up to Keeney, that he had it, and all he had to do was keep playing, but he hasn't the last couple of holes.
Like Buddy Alexander, he made a rash of bogeys and let Tiger Woods back in the match and subsequently won the match.
That is reachable from there, too, although he'll have a slightly downhill lie.
Tiger Woods and Trip Keeney, the 11th hole. And Trip leads by 2.
I talk with men every day who call because they want to find out what they can do to improve their sexual performance. So this guy called and said he wasn't happy with his performance. He started describing symptoms of ED. I said, look, half of all men over 40 have some form of ED. It happens to younger guys, too. It's not just you. You're not alone in all this.
Sex has always been an important part of our relationship. I wanted to do something about it. I had questions. Are ED treatments safe? He gave me information that put my mind at ease. He told me that millions of men are being safely and successfully treated. He also said that ED could be caused by high blood pressure or diabetes, even some medications.
He called us back 2 months later.
I told him that it really made a difference. I'm glad I did something. Really glad.
Make the call. Learn more about ED and get information about a prescription treatment option. Call 1-800-483-3879 or visit makethecall2.com.
The TPC course at Sawgrass, site of the 94th U.S. Amateur Championship, where Tiger Woods is bidding to become the youngest amateur champion in history. There have been 5 19-year-old champions in the past, but never one 18 years old, and that's what Tiger Woods is swimming upstream and trying to accomplish here this afternoon. He trailed Trip Keeney, who plays collegiately at Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma, by 6 holes, as Keeney was magnificent on the front side. But Steve, suddenly Tripp encountering some difficulty.
Well, he has only, by Rossi's account, hit 1 of the last 4 greens in regulation and bogeyed holes 9 and 10 to lose the holes, and he's not doing what he needs to make, and that is play steady golf, force Woods to make birdies. Woods just won the last 2 holes with pars.
Keeney has 218 yards to the front edge. Now, the wind is coming out of the left and slightly behind the players. Tripp does not have the high shot that Woods has, and that puts him at a little disadvantage here. He hits his irons a lot lower, and he also has that slight downhill lie that I mentioned before. It's going to be hard to get this ball up in the air and catch it solidly.
If he would have missed this a little short and left, it wouldn't be all bad.
Well, in the bunker wouldn't be too bad either,
right,
Steve.
Right underneath the hole?
Yeah, right underneath the hole. That's pretty good today. ball's in the bunker to the right, and that shot's going to be not as easy as just in front, but he will be blasting back into the wind.
Moving a tad bit right at the pin.
Tiger Woods has 208 yards to the front edge. He has an uphill lie. Should be a fairly easy shot to play. Tiger can hit a high cut here, probably with a 4-iron. Very solid, beautiful looking shot.
Tiger Woods has reached the par 5 and 2, a long way from the flagstick, however. And Steve Melnick had an opportunity to speak with young Tiger Woods.
Let's talk for a moment, if we can, about your career. Obviously, the junior titles have been very special, having won 3 of those. Now you entered the finals of this U.S. Amateur with a chance to be the youngest winner of this championship. If you win tomorrow, does this do anything to change your long-range plans as an amateur, and does it accelerate perhaps what we all anticipate is a visit to the PGA Tour?
I don't think so. Even if I did win, or say if I won 3 U.S. Amateurs, I don't think I would turn pro. Because in our family, my education's been a #1 priority in our family. When I was growing up, my mom wouldn't let me go practice until I had my homework done. And so that's been like our little rule in our house. And I've kept up my grades because of that. I've been a very good student. And I'm very thankful that I was raised like that. And that's one of the reasons why I chose Stanford over the other schools that were recruiting me.
So here is the young man who will become a freshman at Stanford this year. We'll make a road trip with the golf team over to Japan prior to the start of the academic year.
But you get a sense that this young man knows where he's been, where he is, and where he's going. You see both kids, great students. Keeney, a 3.85. Tiger Woods, obviously not yet in college. In fact, he doesn't begin until late September at Stanford.
Things have changed a little at Stanford, Steve. When I went there, a big road trip was San Francisco. You know, and actually, sending the kids to Japan, I think it's great for them. Just a little thing to say, though, and I've always held it against Stanford. But when we won in 1946, we won the Pacific Coast Intercollegiates, and were promised that if we won the Intercollegiates, we would go to the Nationals. And they reneged on us. We ended up paying our own way, won the championship. And we put the trophy in a downtown clothing store. That's the honest-to-God truth.
Is it still there?
No, I think they got it back, but it stayed there for the whole year.
Just as long as you guys didn't get any free sweaters in return for the trophy, it's okay by me.
That's a great story.
I think Tiger Woods is away here. Shot of Keeney is a little difficult. It's a pretty steep bunker, and it goes down away from him right off the edge of the green, but it comes back up. I think he will be able to stop the ball. It has a nice lie.
Well, he has continued to master this hole. I think this is either the 3rd or 4th time he's knocked it on here in 2 this week. His dad, Earl, is in attendance, has walked with him every step of the way this week. His dad, I believe, works with IMG in Cleveland. Is I'm guessing head of junior golf development, or a consultant there to their golf development. Read into that what you will. You know, Phil Mickelson was one of the few who really had a sense of presence in front of the television camera. Brennan, talking to this young man yesterday, said he's very composed, very alert, chose his words carefully, and it's, I guess it bespeaks the experience he's had in talking to the media.
He's already picked up one habit of a lot of pros. He's pretty deliberate on the greens.
Bring your putter.
That's right, about 3.5 feet by. The grain just would not let that one go to the right.
Tripp's had a lot of time to think about this one.
He has, but I tell you, these fellows play so well out of the bunkers that these shots just aren't hard anymore. I think the clubs are better, their technique is better. When you have young nerves, I don't think this shot's very hard. That is unlucky. 6 more inches and that ball is really close.
Well, on the par 5 second, Woods pitched in from a similar situation for par. He is there in 3. This will be his 4th. If he carries just in that first cut, which is the fringe, the ball would have pitched forward and been very close. And like Woods on 2, has the flagstick removed. Almost. Right over the top edge.
Well, he's going to lose at least one here, isn't he?
With the birdie at the par 5 second in the afternoon 18, Keeney went to 5 up. Now Woods can make this putt and pull within 1 hole. A little match that, quite frankly, less than an hour ago looked like it may end early, and we may have to worry about what to do with the rest of the programming today.
Now they're going to have to worry about what to do with the start time of the Arlington Million. We may be here a while. That is 3 straight holes won by Woods. And Keeney's lead is down to 1. And at one point, Keeney was 6 up in this match. Welcome back to the 94th United States Amateur Championship. Tiger Woods bidding to become the youngest amateur champion ever at the age of 18. Tripp Keeney, 4 years older. Tiger a little taller. Handicap, I don't think I'd want to be giving either of these guys shots. Steve, you'd have to. You're still scratch.
Oh, in my dreams, Brent. With every passing round, I clearly know that my future is behind me, Brent. The only thing missing here is reach.
So they've got to give you. So if you played scratch, you'd get 3 from Tiger.
I'd get 3 from Tiger Woods. Right.
I can't believe that. I think he said he was a 3 handicap. Isn't that right, Frank? What's the deal?
Well, you saw that little plus sign in front of those handicaps. That means that's the equivalent, really means minus. That means 3 shots better than par. So if Mr. Melnick was trying to fake himself as a scratch golfer, he would be getting 3 shots from Tiger Woods.
That's
not
what I
giving.
said. So I said you get 3 from it.
I get 3 from
Oh
Woods.
yeah, well he needs them.
That's the unkindest cut of all.
Yeah. How many do you think you'd need to handle the Tiger, Steve?
Let's just say in watching these players play that I'm glad I'm not competing today. How's that?
Okay, Rossi, what's the situation out there?
Both balls are sitting pretty well. Neither one is going to be able to see the flag. They're not going to see anything. The tower behind the green, they can see nothing. They're just going to have to get a general idea of where they're going to pitch this ball, line up with something on top of the hill. Both balls are going to come up very high, especially Tripp's. He's got a severe uphill lie. Tiger's sort of down in the bottom, but he'll still have to get it up pretty quickly. Shot of about 80 yards.
Here's where yardage is very important. As Rossi said, when you can't see, you have to rely on distance and match a swing with the distance. Rossi, when you played initially as a professional, did you play with any yardage?
No, none. Absolutely none.
Played by feel?
That's right. A fellow named Gene Andrews, I think, was the first one to come up with that yardage book. He was from California, and he had the idea to do that. Boy, he sure slowed the game down, didn't he?
Oh, man, did he?
And I believe it was Beeman who was credited with Nicklaus becoming so reliant on yardage when they played amateur golf together.
Way left. Got on the green, I think, but not bad. Not bad, not good. This is a shot that's going to be very difficult to play with a wedge because it's going to come up so high. I think you might choke down on maybe a pitching wedge instead of a sand wedge, or take a 9-iron, choke way down on it, because the ball's going to shoot up in the air anyway.
Came out left. Yes, it did.
Didn't get lucky with that bounce either. We'll continue.
Say hello to the Auchenhead. Mr. Auchenhead is a hypersensitive sound testing device that Buick engineers employ to help craft their quiet-tuned cabins. But this process works so well, Mr. Auchenhead hasn't had much to do lately.
Don't worry, Mr. Auchenhead. There are plenty of other car companies that still need your help.
Introducing the all-new, quiet-tuned Buick Lucerne. Beyond precision.
Introducing the extraordinary E-Trade Complete. Be brilliant with your banking, trading, and investing all on one page. Be visionary and see where your money might be falling through the cracks and exactly how to stop it. Be all-powerful with a revolutionary security device that changes your password every 60 seconds. In other words, be master of your domain.
Oh, there's my earring.
At E-Trade Financial, we keep challenging the ordinary to help investors be extraordinary.
This January, the new year kicks off with the Aloha Swing. Beginning with Mercedes Championships Week, the Golf Channel will be live in Hawaii as the exciting new seasons of both Golf Central and Sprint Postgame kick off Hawaiian style. Plus, it's the premiere of the Daily Planet as we follow one of golf's most colorful personalities both on and off the course. And 2006 brings the big screen to the Golf Channel. Top Shelf Wednesdays gets even bigger with the debut of the Golf Channel Cinema. January on the Golf Channel.
Well, we'll come back on videotape now, and we're going to show you that shot by Tripp Keeney. That was the end result, and here is how it got there.
He needed a good shot. pull it off.
Well, Tiger can go all square.
Tiger got to watch that ball roll all the way across the green, so he sure knows what it's going to do.
Right in the throat. He knows it.
We could pick up the pace if we'd start having good and good go on out there on those greens here. This is getting a little agonizing, isn't it, Mr. Melnick?
They're a little too careful here, Rossi. I think that Keeney will probably concede after he makes his putt. Sometimes you get out of your regular routine and try to be too careful. I think, Rossi, that's probably what Keeney has done.
I think so. I think he changed his game plan after about 15 holes this morning.
Yeah, that's conceded.
All right. Let's roll, lads.
Hole number 12 is passed at 4.
When you played in the amateur final, though, you didn't play match play, did you? How long did it take you to play up at Oakmont when you won it that day?
Well, because of guys like Hannigan who set the course up so hard, it was a long
Was it a
play. Yeah, if they'd set it up a little easier, it'd been different.
How long should you think the average golfer should take to play 18 holes?
Well, we're in that business. We like to see that our players on our courses go out in the morning and play in about 3:40, 3:45, and the last group played in 4:15.
What do you think, Frank Hannigan?
That's 4
What should
players.
it be?
Well, my answer is going to depend somewhat on the golf course, but I think in general 4 players unimpeded shouldn't be allowed to play golf if they take as long as 4 hours on the average American golf course.
Should they start timing them at the turn and pick them up?
Well,
And,
some places where they do rely on revenue for a living, they do that, don't they? Steve, you're in the business.
We encourage consistently fast play. Yes, we do.
At the old course in St. Andrews, as you know, you and I played there a couple of years ago, there's a ranger on the course.
Absolutely.
They'll throw you off if you're not keeping up with it.
We made it in 3:40 that day, Frank.
And we can't play at all.
That's right.
You know, there's a misnomer. You can play badly quickly.
It's true. You certainly can. How about continuous putting? Does that help?
I think for the most part that when we play most of the time among friends, when you're ready to play, you play. We kind of abandon the who's away. Now, I know the purists don't like that, but in the essence of pace of play, if you're to your ball, ready to play, go hit it.
Well, now finally, we're ready for some golf. Here's Tiger Woods.
179 yards today. Flagstick cut in a supposedly hard spot, but anything to the middle of the green will go right down to the hole. So I don't think it's as hard a spot as that plateau on the right. Does bring the water into play, though. Hole a little like 16 at Augusta. Steve?
Well, and if you play a right-to-left shot like Keeney, it's a little more accessible for Woods. If he's going to play that cut, you've got to be very careful where you start it.
Boy, hits that ball high.
Oh,
that carried 1 foot too far, or that might have gone down in the hole.
Keeney needs to make a good swing.
He's been waiting so long, he probably forgets how to swing.
Interesting sidebar to that. Career holes in 1, 3 of them have been on Friday the 13th. How about that?
Gonna be a little too far right to go down that hill. It's going to go down, but it's going to be a little short. Not bad, though.
Very makeable from there.
Not bad. Tiger has a putt that is impossible to leave short. All he's got to do is touch it, and it's going to go to the hole.
Steve, I know you had a chance earlier to take a look at Tiger Woods' swing.
Tiger looks terrific at setup. Everything is in alignment. Terrific posture over the ball. But watch his top of the swing position. Swings back to the top. He looks terrific. As we freeze up here, look, there's a slight bow in his left wrist, and the club face is slightly shut at the top. Let's watch him as he swings through to the target. Terrific extension through the ball. Oh, to be 18 again. The reason he shut at the top, let's take a look at his address position. Look at this very strong left-hand grip. A little bit like Paul Azinger, and a swing a little bit like Paul Azinger. Let's watch. Takes it away. Very quiet hands. Great rotation of the upper body. And now he clears his lower side so well. Gets to his left side, and it's really a quiet release with his hands. If he were to turn his hands over from that position, the ball would go dead left.
And for Tiger, he first played at the age of 6 months, didn't he? Let's take a look at Tripp's swing now with Steve.
Tripp has an excellent golf swing. Evenly balanced over the ball. Looks terrific setup to it, even better finish. The reason, great extension. Let's take a look. Watch as he takes the club away. Look how far away from his body and what great extension at the top of the swing he has. And then on the forward swing, watch him swing through to his left side. Transitions nicely to his left, gets his weight out over his left leg. Watch his right shoulder pull his weight through. And the finish is absolutely picture perfect. You know, if you put Keeney on this tee, forget what has happened and said, you're playing in the finals, you have a one-hole lead with 6 to play, you're pretty happy. If he can forget what's happened, forget it one time he had a 6-hole lead, and just enjoy the fact that he has a one-hole margin, he's not in bad shape. The longest time, Woods was just known as a very good junior player. He's won the USGA Junior 3 times, but this summer is when he came of age. He destroyed the field at Pacific Northwest Amateur Championship, and most importantly, won the Western Amateur, which is a combination of 72-hole stroke play and 4 matches of match play, rather. And that's considered the second most important amateur championship.
By the time he finishes today, he may no longer be the youngest amateur champion ever.
Are you implying this is a funereal pace? Maybe gamesmanship.
Think so?
Maybe. I hope not. Sets a bad example.
Grain got him again, Steve. Boy, you really have to realize that everything that grain goes to the west.
It's unlikely, too, that Tiger has played on many Bermuda grass greens growing up in California.
I think Tiger's probably played in more places than any other 18-year-old, though. He has been around.
first solid hole he's played in the last 5.
Solidly in. Trip Keeney, 1 up through 13. The par 4 14th will be coming up. Welcome back. This is our ESPN coverage of the 94th United States Amateur Championship. Coming up a little bit later at 5. We'll take you to Arlington Park for the running of the Arlington Million, which figures to be one of the finest thoroughbred horse races of the year. Paradise Creek, which will break from the outside the 12-post position, figures to be the odds-on favorite. Bob Rosberg earlier today said, folks, watch Fanmore. Robert Frankel, outstanding trainer. DeSormo will be in the irons, and the Ross man has touted you on a good horse breaking from the 2nd position. And I want to pass along the information that my man Rossi's as good a handicapper as I know. All right, Rossi, here's Keeney.
A lot of people are going to laugh at that statement. I've busted a lot of people. But Trip Keeney has 160 yards to the hole. He kind of got unlucky in that the ball just hit soft and trickled down a slope. It's kind of a mounded fairway. You're going to be able to see a drain right in front of him down at the bottom of this slope. And it really has kind of a severe downhill lie. You don't see a whole lot of these in Florida, but you do see a few around the TPC course here. Wind behind the players, slightly out of the left. That'll be just a good 8-iron off a downhill slope.
There's Tiger Woods' ball again. Is that back on some of those pine needles back in there, Steve?
Yeah, it's right on the pine needles again. He's got an interesting shot. We'll talk about it in just a minute.
Has some options to play.
Could be a pivotal point in this match here for 14th.
Oh, it's a beautiful looking shot here, right at the middle of the green. Very solid. Pin high, maybe 30 feet to the left. Tiger Woods has about 125 yards. That is of no consequence. He has a tree about 40 yards in front of him. He has 2 choices. He can go to the right of it, which is a little narrower, but he won't have to do anything but hit it straight, or he could cut it. Now, he has the kind of a lie that you can play a cut. It's a bear lie on the pine needles. I think he'll go to the left of that tree and try and play a little slice and run it in the opening. Oh, he takes a 7-iron, has to keep it down a little.
Woods has now missed 4 of the last 5 fairways from the tee.
I'll tell you, that sung off shot. He put right through that opening and played a little slice.
That's twice.
Great shot, Tiger.
He's come out here in the last hour and a half between trees with wonderful shots. Let's go back to that interview Steve Melnick had earlier with Tiger Woods.
If you had to pick a player in the game of golf today whose personality and career you would most like to emulate, who might that be?
None. What I like to do is I probably have about 50 guys or so that I'll take different parts of their personality, game, or whatever they do, and I like to fit that into mine. So I have one super being. I don't limit myself to just one person because one person has a lot of faults. And as we all know, humans make mistakes. But this super being is pretty much almost perfect, so that's the way I like to do it.
You got that, Brent?
Yes, indeed. Well, they're up on the green, and again, Trip Keeney probably starting to talk to himself. walks off the tee and he thinks he's in pretty good shape on a hole, and gets up there on the green, and the Tiger has reappeared from out of the woods. And Keeney is away.
He has about 35 feet up the hill, putting right into the green. Actually, the green is across. Let me correct that. It's a tough putt to get the right distance.
Frank Canning, an interesting situation here about perhaps a ball taken out of play.
Somebody wants to take a ball out of play on the basis that it's been damaged and unfit for play, and the rules say that in this case the opponent has to agree. I don't know what happened out there, whose ball was involved.
Hit the cart path. Remember Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods' ball hit the cart path. He asked the referee. I don't think that Tripp had a look at it, though.
He should have. The referee's not supposed to get involved in that unless the players disagree.
Shall I tell him that, Frank?
Short.
I think both players here are just being too careful. I think we've got out of their own sort of routine. Now they're playing more one another than they are just going out and playing golf. Yeah, we've seen no putts hole of any consequence. We've seen no terrific shots, if you will, other than perhaps the two shots that Tiger played to the par 5 11th. Whereas this morning we witnessed great shot making by Keeney. Now fatigue is obviously a problem. They played 36 holes of stroke play. Now they're in their 8th match.
They're too young to be fatigued. That's for old guys like you and me.
That's why we play cards, Brent. This for the win.
Now Keeney needs to make this to stay one up.
Halved in 4 through 14 holes. Mr. Keeney remains one up.
I talk with men every day who call because they want to find out what they can do to improve their sexual performance. So this guy called and said he wasn't happy with his performance. He started describing symptoms of ED. I said, look, half of all men over 40 have some form of ED. It happens to younger guys too. It's not just you. You're not alone in all this.
Sex has always been an important part of our relationship. I wanted to do something about it. I had questions. Are ED treatments safe? He gave me information that put my mind at ease. He told me that millions of men are being safely and successfully treated. He also said that ED could be caused by high blood pressure or diabetes, even some medications. He called us back 2 months later. I told him that it really made a difference. I'm glad I did something. Really glad.
Make the call. Learn more about ED and get information about a prescription treatment option. Call 1-800-483-3879 or visit makethecall2.com.
Tiger Woods has been one of the best long putters we've seen in a long time.
But the players have not holed a putt of any consequence since the 7th hole when Woods holed a long putt for birdie there.
We haven't had a change since through the 11th, and remember at that point Trip Keeney had dropped 3 consecutive holes. He was 4 up going to the 9th tee, and then trouble set in, but he steadied himself with 3 pars, matching Tiger Woods right here. And now an opportunity to go 2 up.
It appeared that Keeney got a great read, but this is very makeable. Oh, it's the last thing you want to do.
Hole number 15 is half.
Trip Keeney remains 1 up.
Keeney remains 1 up.
Now still ahead, a par 5, the 16th, then the par 3 17th, and finally the par 4 18th. Steve, let's start with the 16th.
16, a great gambling hole. It can be reached in 2 by these 2 players. A big advantage, I think, off the tee for Keeney, who plays right to left. Woods will have a much tougher shot fitting his tee shot in the fairway. Second shot with a good drive will be with a long iron. The water obviously comes into play for anything missed to the right. But I think if both players play a good tee shot here, they can knock it on in 2. And the flagstick today, where else? But front right certainly brings that water into play. You almost block out the right side of that green with your second shot and aim left.
They leave the flagsticks where they were this morning. This is a 36-hole match, so nothing has changed with the flagsticks in this competition.
What a joy it is to play on greens that virtually have no spike marks on them other than your own from the morning round.
And what a beautiful view of the Atlantic here. Ponte Vedra, Florida, southeast of Jacksonville. Wonderful beaches down in this area. It's sensational golf courses all the way down along the coast of South Georgia and northern Florida. Terrific place for vacationers to come down here, even extending all the way up to Hilton Head, Steve. They do love their golf down here in the southeast.
Well, we have a wealth of great golf courses here in the First Coast area. It's really made up of 5 counties. We're actually playing in St. Johns County, which contains St. Augustine.
In Duval County, that's Jacksonville, and Nassau County is where Fernandina Beach is.
Where you have a residence.
Amelia Island. That's where you used to live, partner.
I did.
They told me you were a better fisherman than you were a golfer. You must have been some fisherman.
I could wet a line every now and then.
Steve Melnick, one of the bass masters. I expect to turn you on about 3 a.m. in the morning. You know, you take these road trips, you know that? You turn on your TV, sit in a hotel. These guys are fishing for $50,000 every. I don't understand it. For insomniacs, it's great.
All right, tee shot for Woods here at 16.
Wind slightly in the player's face. They're going to have to hit pretty good drive here to get home, Steve. People liked it.
Right.
Ooh, that sunk at the last minute. Not a very good angle either.
Now's the time for Trip to play that hot hook. It's the shot you practice all the time on the practice tee with your friends. You say, all right, I got to turn it around that corner. I got to pick up about 10 or 15 yards. Let me hit a swinging hook out there.
Same thing, but that ball may have stayed up a little bit better over there in the grass. Well, we'll find out when our man Bob gets over there. Good crowd here this year. Welcome back to the TPC course. It is the top of the hour, and the issue here is still very much in doubt. Trip Keeney out of Oklahoma State, one up on Tiger Woods, who will be a freshman this year at Stanford. They have reached the par 5 16th off the tee now, getting ready for their second shots, and we go out to our man, Bob Rosberg. Rossi?
Neither player has a very good lie. Trip Keeney has a 205 yards to the front edge. I believe that the strategy here, if I were Tripp, I would lay the ball up and put it all over to Tiger. Tiger has a terrible lie. He only has 190 yards to the front edge. He could possibly, if he catches the ball well, get it to the front edge. I don't think he can carry it anywhere to the right to do anything, but he could run it on. There's a marshal standing down there that is quite large. He's almost blocking the whole view of the green. You're going to have to get him out of there.
A total eclipse of the 16th. He may have been one of your pulling guards over there in Gainesville.
He's pulled too many.
Well, I think, is this what he did, Rossi? Did he hit it too far?
Yeah, no. I think this is perfect. He only hit it about 100 yards. He's leaving himself a full shot. He's going to have a shot of about 110 yards. But he did not want to fool with that tree over there. Now it's kind of up to Tiger. Tiger's going to say, what am I going to do?
Pretty gaspy. Right into the 6 iron, heavy.
He's got the kind of a club out. Looks like he's going to try and shoot it down a lot farther.
Pulled a 6 iron.
I think he could get it there if he really nailed it, but I don't think he's got that kind of a lie.
As he plays it back in his stance, Rossi tries to trap it, hopes it kind of squirts a little right.
Great shot. Well done. Hit kind of soft, Steve, didn't it?
I think it hit that tree,
Or did
Rossi.
it catch the top of the tree?
Yeah, I think it caught a branch, and that's why it came down so softly. And a program reminder from ESPN right now. We're at the top of the hour. This was due to be the start of the show, The America's Horse, and that would lead into the Arlington Million. And just as soon as we wrap up the United States Amateur Championship, which is on live right now, we will join that show. And of course, then there will be plenty of time for the feature on the day, the $1 million race at Arlington Park, just outside of Chicago. Right now, you're watching the Amateur Championship. Tiger Woods is the favorite, bidding to become, among other things, the youngest amateur champion ever. There have been 5 who are 19 who have captured this great championship, including Jack Nicklaus. And he is matched against Trip Keeney, a young man who now plays collegiately out of Oklahoma State, and whose sister, Kelly Keeney, who is in the gallery right now, won the Junior Girls Championship up in Great Falls, Montana about 5 weeks ago. Here is Trip.
Tripp has 115 yards to the hole. Just a wisp of a breeze blowing in his face. Makes the shot a little easier, actually. Stop it over that bunker.
So this will be the 3rd shot on the par 5 16th. The famous par 3 Island Green 17th is ahead, and then the par 4 finishing hole here at the TPC. Flirted with it.
Came up and out of that shot a little quickly. It's like one of those shots that you hit with both hands on the wheel. You never really released it.
Tiger Woods' ball is in the short rough, has a nice dry lie, which helps. Slightly downhill lie, but not bad. It's got a lot of green on which to pitch the ball. I look for Tiger to get this ball close.
He's in an area of brown grass that golf course superintendents call hot spots. They're typically up on the top of little ridges. They drain quickly. That's why you don't see a lot of green grass on the tops of these little knolls.
Looking at this grass past the tree, Steve, I think maybe he got a break into to hit that tree. It's pretty deep up here, and although he would have had a lot better angle if his ball had gone farther, the lie would not have been as good.
The only defense, and there are few, in defending the slow play is what is at stake as the amateur champion. As you said, the entries into the Masters, the British Open, the U.S. Open.
Both are already into the Masters now. This is the U.S. Open and the British Open exemption if you're the champion. But both of the two finalists are invited to Augusta, and that's quite an honor for these two fellows. They certainly will enjoy that.
Tiger can pitch this ball up to the middle of the green, and it'll spin right down to the hole off that slope. Everything funnels down to that hole.
Beautifully done.
Very impressive. He plays that very nice, like a little dead-handed shot. That man has a lot of game. And then, Rossi, it appears as though Keeney's got a tough lie up against the cut of rough there.
He sure does. Going to have to break the club up very abruptly. Coming up the hill, though, Steve, that's the only thing that makes it a little easier, but it is a difficult shot.
You can play any number of clubs. He's gone with a very lofty club here. Watch out. What a great shot. What a touch. It was on this hole this morning that Woods made birdie. And he is looking to do so again in an attempt to square this match.
He made a great birdie here this morning, Steve. Had to hit a 3-iron for his third shot. In fact, he was farther from the hole in 2 than Tripp was in 1 and ended up winning the hole.
Rossi, if I'm not mistaken, this is a putt that is dead down grain. You want it to break to the right, but I don't believe this putt does break right, does it?
Well, it's sort of down. If anything, the grain might take it a little right, Steve. I don't think it's going to do much. I think you're right. I think inside the hole. You definitely don't want to get it outside the hole.
If he puts it outside the hole, he'll miss this putt.
All square. And here's what next. The par 3 17th.
A rainy day is my chance to be home. Be a fan. Be a kid. Be lazy. Problem is, there are no rainy days. My life is about never settling. That's why my card is American Express.
All good things in time, my boy.
Haste makes waste.
Patience is a virtue.
Your day will come.
Now, luxurious things can come to those who'd rather not wait. The Acura Certified Pre-Owned Vehicle Program.
This January, the new year kicks off with the Aloha Swing. Beginning with Mercedes Championships Week, the Golf Channel will be live in Hawaii as the exciting new seasons of both Golf Central and Sprint Postgame kick off Hawaiian style. Plus, it's the premiere of the Daily Planet as we follow one of golf's most colorful personalities both on and off the course. And 2006 brings the big screen to the Golf Channel. Top Shelf Wednesdays gets even bigger with the debut of the Golf Channel Cinema. January on the Golf Channel.
Steve Melnick and Bob Rosberg. I'm Brad Musburger. We are watching the 94th U.S. Amateur Championship. Tiger Woods and Tripp Keeney now are all square. Keeney last won a hole back on the front side, the 6th. He was 4 up when they teed off for the second 18 today. He has captured only 2 holes here, the 2nd and the 6th. He lost 9, 10, and 11, and now 16 as Tiger Woods has rallied to draw all square with the par 3 17th and the par 4 18th up ahead. If they are still all square through 18, they will go to the 10th and they will start play again on the back side. And that, of course, would be sudden death. They wouldn't play 9 more holes, but it would be sudden death.
And Rossi, you saw Woods' tee shot this morning on 17, did you not?
He played a sensational shot just right over the flag, about maybe 10 feet over the flag and just slightly to the right of it. The wind is coming out of the right now. You know, it's a pretty good shot for Tiger now. If he can aim it just a little to the left of the hole and cut it back into that wind, anything hooking here, it could be a tough shot. 139 yards today. They're using that left-hand tee with the flag stick on the right. You're just looking right at all the water. Anything to the right is going to go in the water. Funny thing about it here in match play, Steve, if the first person knocks it in the water, the second guy can't go safe, though. There's nowhere to go safe.
Just try to find land.
This is what you call indecision, Steve, when you got 2 of them up there.
That is a combination of being very good and very lucky. In his match with Buddy Alexander, he pulled it, stopped from going in the water by less than a foot. Play right to left and you put the flag stick right on 17, you can't pull the trigger.
So Keeney and Woods will make their way now to the island green. We'll take a break and come right back. This match is all square.
I talk with men every day who call because they want to find out what they can do to improve their sexual performance. So this guy called and said he wasn't happy with his performance. He started describing symptoms of ED. I said, look, half of all men over 40 have some form of ED. It happens to younger guys too. It's not just you. You're not alone in all this.
Sex has always been an important part of our relationship. I wanted to do something about it. I had questions. Are ED treatments safe? He gave me information that put my mind at ease. He told me that millions of men are being safely and successfully treated. He also said that ED could be caused by high blood pressure or diabetes, even some medications.
He called us back 2 months later.
I told him that it really made a difference. I'm glad I did something, really glad.
Make the call. Learn more about ED and get information about a prescription treatment option. Call 1-800-483-3879 or visit makethecall2.com.
Keeney should not have any trouble getting his ball to the hole. In fact, he's got to be careful he doesn't run it well by because it's going down the slope as it approaches the hole.
And the pace certainly slowed down in the second 18 today. They had already completed the front side of this time. Now, not through 17 yet. Here's Trip Keeney with the championship at stake. For a moment, that looked like it was going to be too short, but he judged it perfectly. Well done from over there with a lag putt.
One time, Brent, in this match, he was 6 down, and now he can go 1 up. Seems inconceivable.
One hole to go, and he can become the youngest amateur champion in history. And Trip Keeney can only wonder about what might have been at this point. And Tiger Woods is putting on some performance here this afternoon in the amateur championship.
I cannot think of a hole that brings together all the drama that we're facing here than the 18th at the Stadium course. You simply have to drive your ball in the fairway if you hope to knock it on the green in 2. You play a big sweeping hook, I think it's to a big advantage to the players. The second shot to this long, undulating par 4 green is no less easy. What a great finish to this wonderful match, these two fine competitors.
Right now, folks, we are watching some thoroughbred perform here on the golf course. Here is a young man who twice this week could have tossed in the towel, got help when Buddy Alexander couldn't get the job done earlier in a match. And you cannot say enough about how Tiger Woods has hung tough again today. 36 holes, down 6, and now he is 1 up and 1 to go.
Rossi, what's he using?
Well, I'm down the fairway, Steve. I do not know what he's using. Iron. Wind out of the right.
It's a 1-iron. And he has not hit a fairway since 11. Until now.
Well played. Last time he came to this hole 1 up against Buddy Alexander, they tied it in 6s. That will not be the case today.
Turn, sweetheart.
Tiger.
Tiger Woods ahead for the first time after 35 holes, 1 up. He is within 1 hole of becoming the youngest amateur champion in history.
Manage your favorite PGA and Champions Tour stars each week for big cash prizes in Tour Trade, the ultimate fantasy golf game. Season starts with the Bob Hope Chrysler Classic. It all begins January 17th, so sign up today at thegolfchannel.com, and your Sundays will never be the same.
The Golf Channel is making a splash in 2006, beginning with the Aloha Swing, featuring great tournament action from the champions and LPGA tours, along with the debut of the Golf Channel Cinema and more original programming than ever before, including the Big Break 5, Hawaii. And with our all-new talent lineup, Golf Central and Sprint Postgame will never be the same. All of this and more, only on the Golf Channel.
This January, say aloha to the 2006 golf season with 4 weeks of golf, Hawaiian style on the Golf Channel. Beginning with Mercedes Championships Week in Kapalua. Coverage of the Grand Slam of golf and Hawaiian editions of Golf Central and the Sprint postgame shows. Followed by the 2006 Champions Tour season debuts at the MasterCard and Turtle Bay Championships. It's the Golf Channel's Aloha Swing, presented by the Hawaii Visitors and Convention Bureau. This January on the Golf Channel.
The perfect driver is a favorite among thousands of happy golfers. The PGA Tour partners rated the perfect driver a perfect 10 in accuracy and a perfect 10 in overall game improvement. The perfect driver lets you play golf the way it was meant to be played, from the fairway. The perfect driver is more accurate and forgiving than any other driver. The perfect driver is available at theperfectclub.com and at Dick's Sporting Goods and other fine retailers.
What's going on? We don't know how many converters we have in stock. We don't know where our trucks are, and no one knows where Mackler is.
6,000 converters? Trucks are at I-4, exit 9. Mackler, where are you? In the airport.
Get a Nextel walkie-talkie phone for $24.99 and connect with over 17 million people. Nextel is available at Sprint or Nextel stores. Sprint together with Nextel.
This is not a time to finesse a shot.
Looks like he has a 6-iron, like you say, Steve. He wants to hit something hard. At the right side of the green, should go left when it hits. Tripp has 182 yards. He's got the angle where he's got to shoot it up to the right. The ball's going to go left very hard when it gets on the green from the angle from which he's playing.
Well, he's on the second tier, the flagstick on the back tier, but he has an awkward little shot off the fringe.
Now we want to go back as they march up here to the 18th green. We want to show you the key moment in this match play championship. 36 holes today, and it was here, very deliberate. Couldn't decide which club to use. Finally went with this, Steve.
Looked like he hit a hard 9. Ball's in the air. He's scared to death. When it stays dry, he's immensely relieved.
The one point that I want to make about Tiger Woods is that every time when he appeared to be in difficulty, including right here, he made the most of every opening that was offered to him. And this gave him the lead, the first of the day. Tiger Woods. What a future this young man has ahead of him. It's interesting that the only thing that you wonder about is whether or not he'll get tired of competitive golf. He has played it so long as a youngster. But right now, he is just walking on top of the clouds. This is a tremendous moment for him.
to really put into perspective how well these two young men have played, Keeney was 6 under on his ball this morning. Tiger Woods 2 under. This afternoon, though, when he needed it most, Tiger Woods was 4 under. Keeney, by our calculations, is 1 over. Sum total, Brent, excellent golf.
Tiger's going to be putting straight down green, down the hill just a little. One of the faster putts on this golf course.
See, don't you think that in Tiger's mind he knows 4 is good enough given what Keeney faces here with his 3rd?
Oh, I guarantee you he'd take 4 and go quietly. I don't think the putt's going to break very much, Steve. It looks like it's fairly level to me.
Well, your point is well taken. He's putting dead down green, even though it doesn't appear as though it is.
Definite misread there. I think he hit it right where he wanted to. Never moved.
And what about Keeney's 3rd shot?
He really has a hard shot. He's got to come across about 5 feet of fringe and then up a very sharp slope and then to a level spot. It's going to come, I would think, left to right off the hill and then sort of straighten up with the grain and the slope. Too hard, just wouldn't take the break back to the left.
Still away?
He is definitely away. He's got about maybe 5.5 feet left.
It's over. Tiger Woods is the youngest U.S. amateur champion ever. There's his father, Earl Woods, 20 years in the Army, did 2 Vietnam stints as a Green Beret, retired as a lieutenant colonel, once had a Vietnamese friend and colleague who his friends called Tiger, and he named his son in his honor. He has never seen his comrade since he left Vietnam, but how proud he would be of his namesake here today.
I did it. There you go, man. Great job. You played super. I played as good as I can play. Y'all did super. Way to go.
We go to Bob Rosberg. Rossi?
Tiger, I've got to ask you a couple of questions. Number one, have you ever been 6 down before?
I've never been 6 down and won. I've been 6 down and lost.
So that was a tremendous comeback. You had a little problem for the first 27 holes. I think by your own admission, you'd say you didn't play real well, but boy, those last 9 holes, you played some great shots.
Well, I was struggling a little bit early. I was sliding a little bit with my hips. And when I start doing that, my right hand kicks in, and I don't know where the ball's going. But on the backside, I just said turn. And from there, I think everything worked out pretty good.
You made a couple of great shots out of the trees there.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a little luck to have shots,
yeah,
but
exactly.
you played a shot at 14 and 15 that were as good as I've seen in a long time.
Well, put it to you this way. I've grown up in those trees. I've been so wild for so long that it's pretty easy for me to hit those kind of shots because I play with them all the damn time.
Well, Tiger, I'm not sure if anybody's ever come from 6 down in the finals of the U.S. Amateur, but it was a sensational performance.
Thanks.
And we at ESPN congratulate you.
Thanks, Bob.
Best of luck in the future.
All right, thank you.
What a wonderful performance. Could Tiger Woods become golf's next superstar? They'll take him. He's a likable young man, and what a performance here today. Tiger Woods is the youngest amateur champion ever. So for Bob Rosberg, Steve Melnick, I'm Brent Musburger saying